Hey guys, I'm Yesenia.
And I'm Bella.
And today we're going to talk about some of the most commonly made mistakes for new players in paintball. I don't know about you, but I see this all the time. New players always want to lift their masks up, like in the middle of the game, like all the time. That's the first thing you definitely don't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, like if your mask is foggy, if you're hot, if maybe you get shot in the mouth, or I guess in the mask, in the mouth, don't lift your mask
You might
up.
feel like you want to in that moment, like naturally lift it up, but just stop. And like even if you have to get out of the game, go to the dead box or go to like a safety zone, do that because it's a big risk to like have your face exposed.
Yeah, you don't want to get shot in the face.
Definitely not. Like people have gotten shot in the eye before. Like so many accidents could happen. So keep your mask down like at all costs, at all times.
And I mean, the game's going so quickly. Like the other team's not going to be like, oh, his mask is up. Like they're just going to shoot, even if your mask is up or down.
Right. So keep your mask down at all times. That's literally the biggest mistake you can make. So avoid that. Another mistake I see all the time too is people not shutting their loaders closed. So like they'll go and buy their paint, they'll fill up their loader, they'll get out there, and like the second the game starts, they'll start running and their paint just goes everywhere.
I know, and that's kind of like the same thing with the air. Like they'll get so excited about going and they'll completely forget to fill their air tank. They get out there, they shoot maybe 4 or 5 balls, and then they hear that sound, and they no
and
air.
Game over for you.
Yeah.
So I think not being prepared is a big mistake. So make sure like all your equipment is good to go. Shut your lid all the way. Check your air tank. Make sure you have air. The worst thing is like running out of air because everyone can hear it. Like it's gonna make a noise that everyone can hear. They're gonna know that you cannot shoot them, and they're gonna come get you. Yeah. So that's no fun. Make sure you're good to go with air and that your paintballs are all secure.
And I mean, if that does happen and you do have to leave, this falls into kind of making sure you keep your barrel bag on. I've seen a lot of people just come out without their barrel bag on and accidentally shoot or purposely shoot, or even just sitting at the picnic table just shooting their friend because they think it's funny. It's actually really not funny and it's really bad. You want to make sure that stays on all the time.
Yeah, keep your barrel bag on like at all times. Like the second you're out of the game, put it back on, keep it on. The second you assemble your gun, put it together, keep your barrel bag on. You might want to like, oh, I set up my gun. Let me like test it out right here next to the table or next to the car. Like don't do that. Put the barrel bag on right away. That's a huge mistake, like not shooting in a shooting range or a designated like chrono area. So for your safety and for other people's safety, I really suggest just set up your gun, make sure everything's good, put your barrel bag on before you take the safety off, before you turn the gun on, and then go to like a designated place to test it because you don't want to hurt yourself and you don't want to hurt other people.
Yeah, especially like all the other families that come. You gotta like think about them. They don't want to get shot. They're just there to watch and hang out.
Exactly. So don't get too excited. Just set your stuff up and remember safety first all the time.
Yeah, I think usually another big thing followed by like the paint and stuff. People don't fill their pod packs correctly.
Oh yeah, I see that all the time.
They don't fill them to the top. They leave them half full because maybe they only have like a little bit of paint left, and then they're breaking and. Yeah,
like when you don't fill your pods correctly, you're pretty much risking all your paint because if there's space in there for it to like rattle around, it's probably going to break once you start running. And if it doesn't break, it's making like a really loud noise, so everyone knows where you're running to the whole time. It's like you've got a little like bell on you the whole time, like as you're running. So fill your pods up good. Make sure also that you put them into your pod pack good. Like don't leave the strap kind of loose, because I've also seen people just lose a whole pod. Like they'll run into a bunker and then like the strap wasn't good. And then like their whole entire pod will just like spill into the ground.
Yeah, and I mean that paint is wasted too. Once it falls on the ground, you don't want to reuse it.
Oh yeah, that's a big mistake that people like do all the time, especially rental players and new players. Like they'll see they're running out of paint and then they'll see that pile of paint that someone else dropped and they're like, ooh, paintballs. Like do not put that stuff in your hopper, guys. Like leave the paintballs on the floor alone. You don't need them. They're going to be more trouble than they're worth. They can cause like jamming and breaking in your gun. So just leave those dirty paintballs on the ground.
Yeah, you might as well just go out and get some more. I mean, save you some time and fix your gun and everything.
Exactly.
So, Yeah, I think another big thing I see is people just getting excited when they get on the field, and they just start shooting at anything, no matter what it is.
Oh my God, yeah, I see that all the time.
They get into their hut or wherever they're going in, and they just stick their gun through the window, and they just start shooting. They're up, down, sideways.
Yeah, blind shooting.
Yeah,
I see blind shooting all the time with new players. They just think like, oh, I'm not going to let them get me, so I'm just going to hide behind this bunker and stick my gun out. Well, first of all, if you can't see what you're shooting at, you don't know who you're shooting at. So you could hurt a ref, you could hurt a player that's already out, but also you're kind of just wasting paint. You don't know what you're shooting at. Like if you can't clearly see your shot, just don't take it. It's better to like do a quick little snap in and snap out than to just be like wasting all your paint on a lane. And what if like one of your teammates runs by? You're gonna shoot your teammate.
Yeah, and I mean, even like between the ref, the photographers, the people that get out, like, I mean, if you get shot and you get out, you don't want to keep getting shot 10, 15 times. Like, you just want to get out and get done. So just make sure you look where you're shooting.
Yeah, if someone has their hands in the air, their gun in the air, they're probably out. Don't shoot them. If someone has a camera, that's a photographer. Don't shoot them.
Especially the refs, like they're supposed to help you. Like you really don't want to shoot them.
You don't want to get the day started shooting the ref that's going to be reffing your games all day. So just take a second to think and look. And be like, okay, is this actually my opponent or is this someone from my team? I see that a lot too, people shooting their own teammates because either they get excited or like at the beginning of the game, they like will just start shooting right when they hear the whistle and like shoot their own teammate in the back. Try to avoid that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You kind of just have to remember to be patient, like it'll all work out.
Yeah, just take your time and it's an exciting game, but you have to take time to think like in those little moments when you have a decision to make. So, just make sure you know what you're shooting at before you pull that trigger thing. I think those are the top mistakes that you definitely want to avoid. I mean, as you learn, you'll learn more tips and tricks and how to stay in the game, but these things are safety related things that you just want to make sure everyone's having a good time and nobody gets hurt with.
Yeah, and I mean, keeping your air, keeping your pod closed, like everything like that, that's more for fun. I mean, you don't want to lose your paint at the start of the game and then have to leave and then wait till the next game because then you're losing time.
Yeah. So make the best of your time out when you're out there. Play safely, have fun, don't take it too seriously, and thanks for watching. We hope that these tips helped.